Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. Welcome back to my series, 6,000 Games Better Than These, where I take a look at games that are ranked less than 6,000 on Board Game Geek, and I just talk about them, the ones that at least I know about. We are way past 6,000 at this point. We are at 7,500, and this means the game should be getting worse, and yet we still keep finding some gems in here. And you might think they're gems also. So we're going to get started with that, so let's jump right on in. Let's see, the first one here is 21 Moon, which I've not played. Looks like a fairly heavy game. Looks like a train game. This is a train game. This is an 18X game. I've been tricked. Throw Avocado. As far away from this as you can get from the 21 Moon, this is a reprint of Throw Burrito. But let's get to some games that I have played or know about. Here we got Kamisado Max. I love Kamisado. Kamisado Max is just a bigger version of it. But if you ever have played Kamisado, it's one of the best abstract games that exists. It looks like this. You have a bunch of pieces that start on your side of the board, and on your turn, you can move any piece you want as far as you want forward or diagonally forward, like a rook in chess or like a queen in chess, but only can go forward. Whatever color you stop on is the piece your opponent must move. You get one piece on your opponent's end line, you win. Very simple. There's some rules to make it longer, but it's a great, great abstract strategy game. All right, here we have Knoxford. Let's take a look at a couple games here. Knoxford is a game about influencing a city in steampunk. And yes, I am barely remembering this one. I want to say it's a quick, simple, fun game. It was a quick, simple, fun game. It was okay. That's the most I remember about it. Sigmund AUST, I can't even pronounce this, and I apologize. I shouldn't even try. This is a board game for 3 to 5 players. You're playing 16th century noble families. Oh my word, I gave this a 7. I gave it a 7 in 2018, which is only 6 years ago. And I gotta say, I am not remembering this game at all. Oh man. Well, I guess it was fun. Sometimes a game just goes out of your memory, and this is one of them. 1969, unfortunately, has not gone out of my memory. I was very excited about this one, as you are a racing for the moon. So many cool ideas in this game. These rockets going up to the moon, prepping the rockets and everything, and it just didn't come together. Oh, I'm still a little unhappy with this game because I was really excited about it. The race to the moon is a really neat theme, and it's just not that great. Okay, Centaur Saga. Wow, there's a lot of different games I've played in this grouping. Centaur Saga, you're guiding armadas here with different alien menaces. So you can see the different ships here flying through. There's another space game. That looks, those last ships definitely were Twilight Imperium ships that someone was using. And this one did not work for me. There's just too much going on and not enough fun aspects to this game. Filler. Filler is a nice little game. That is a filler, but it's about making food. This is from Green Couch Games, and I really enjoy the idea of collecting the different ingredients, making the pastries, and then giving them to different customers who want them. It's a nice, fun little game. Cash and Guns Live is bad. Cash and Guns Live, I don't know why I have it ranked at 4.5. I'll just make it a 4. Sounded super fun in theory. So Cash and Guns is a game where you all point guns at each other at the table. This was like, hey, now you're going to take it up to, what does it say here? 10 to 15 or 20, best with 15, right? 15 different people. And you're all finger pointing guns at each other, and then a judge runs around and whatever, you figure it out. I tried this, it failed miserably. It just takes too long to figure out who's pointing at who, what's going on. It just sounded much more fun than it worked out to be. Monad is an old game from Sid Saxon that was originally, I guess it was called Monad. There's alternate names here, Die 1 Million or whatever. And they reprinted this one, and this is one of those ones that should have just stayed out. I don't think it's a good game at all and did not enjoy it. Okay, well, let's take a look at some games. Here's Baobab. This is sort of similar. This is from, I think, the Blue Orange Games made this one. This is similar to many of these games where you're stacking stuff on top of a can. So you can see the cards, you're putting them on top. There are a lot of these games out there, and this is one that just doesn't stand out. It's okay at best, but the one from Mayday that's about putting stuff in a trash can works a little better. There's a lot of them out there. Well, now we're getting to a bunch of games that I have not played. Here's one called Borderlands. So Borderlands is always, this is not based on the movie. This game here is a game that I won't ever play, but was re-implemented by Gear World, the Borderlands, which, as you can see, I gave a 3 to. And just recently, Arrakis Dawn of the Fremen from Gale Force 9. Maybe this is the game that finally fixes it, but I don't think so. Man, this is from the same folks who made Cosmic Encounter and Dune, and it looked cool as a kid. I really wanted to play it, but it's just kind of a boring pickup and delivery game. Anyway, yeah, that's actually higher ranked than I would think. Heads of State. I know that I'm going to be replaying a new version of Heads of State, but Heads of State has one of the worst covers of all time. Look at that! Look at that cover! I don't know how that cover passed any sort of muster. So I never played it because of that cover. But I did play the remake of it, Royals, which is a great game, part of the Dice Tower Essentials line, which is a fantastic, basically, ticket-to-ride area control is the best way to describe it. It's a lot of fun, and so the new Heads of State that's coming out, I'll definitely take a look at it. Hopefully it has a better cover. What else we got here? Quite a few games I haven't seen. There's Dawn of the Zeds. War Machine High Command. So this is from Privateer Press, and I believe it was compatible, yes, with Horde's High Command. And so a bunch of ideas here with cards and everything, like, oh, this is a good game. And it was kind of like a much ado about nothing. Privateer Press is probably great at miniature games. I cannot speak for that. But their foray here into card games, for me, did not work. Yomi Round 1. Well, I've reviewed Yomi. I guess this is just a version of Yomi. Oh, this is a re-implementation of Yomi. Yomi is a fighting card game where you have a whole deck of cards, which, incidentally, is a deck of cards. And you're just back and forth. It's like a big game of rock, paper, scissors. Works really well. I remember the first time I played it over and over and over again. Bug Council of Backyarda. This is one that I meant to play. This is from Engro Games. I think this came through the Dicer at some point. Maybe Chris reviewed this one. It looks like it. Let's see who reviewed it and see what they gave it. And it was Chris and Wendy. Chris gave it a 6.5. Wendy gave it a 7. Okay. That's probably not enough to make me jump in and want to play it, but I like the name of it. Fire and Ice here is a thinky version of Tic-Tac-Toe, it says. This is another one of those games from the Thailand wooden puzzle company, Pin International. Their games always looked so cool. Then we have Scandalo. So Scandalo I wanted to love. It's a sequel to Awkward Guests, and unfortunately, it does a lot of the same things as Awkward Guests. You're trying to figure out the scandal. I don't care about finding out a scandal, and I thought it was just not as good. It just doesn't play nearly as well in the deduction thing as Awkward Guests. Ghost Chase is a great little family game. I don't have it ranked as high because for me it's okay, like on a level, but for my kids, this one worked really well. You're running around this castle, searching for ghosts and things that ghosts are touching. It's very, very a fun little game for kids. Let's move on. We are at, what is this, 4X? I just like the name of this. It's a game of currency trading. Well, I'm less interested then. Sparkle Kitty. This came out in 2017 as a light little game from Breaking Games and designer Manny Vega. You might wonder who Manny Vega is. Well, look at that. In that picture, he's holding Dice Tower Awards because Flamecraft, that's what he's best known for. But before Flamecraft, he made Sparkle Kitty. And you know what? It's not a terrible little game. It's a funny little game about playing magic cards on each other, making towers. I was surprised. I thought I would hate it. I did not. Batman Everyone Lies. I have not played this game. You know what? I played this game enough to give it a rating, and unfortunately that rating is going to be a 4. So this is from the detective line, and I found it to be just so on rails and so not particularly fun. And when I was playing, Batman wasn't even in the game. It was mostly just Catwoman and stuff. I just did not find it to be enjoyable. Then we have Koi. So there are several games named Koi that are fun. This is one I did not enjoy, although people do like playing this one. You are moving a koi. It's like programming. It's like Robo Rally, the koi pond, except without all the fun of Robo Rally. You're just moving around a koi pond trying to move into things. I did not particularly like it. Horror Clicks. I only want to mention Horror Clicks because this is a game that I remember people were going gaga over, but I don't think it was because of the game. This was kind of I think it was compatible with HeroClix at the time. I'm not 100% sure. I know people stood in line at Origins to get the Cthulhu figure, but I think people liked it just because of the figures, probably more than the game. And then we have Wonger. So Wonger is a very weird game about Aborigine dreams from Alan Moon and Richard Borg. And it's not a terrible game. It's just some area control. It looks like they went and found a bunch of beads from the local bead store that put them in the games. It's fine, but what a weird name and theme. Specs is kind of, what's this one closest to? Yahtzee and Connect 4. Yeah, you're basically trying to roll dice. It's a roll and write, not a roll and write really. It's a roll and play, essentially, and then putting cubes in different spots on the board. And I found this one to be interesting, but a little long. Clash for Continent, Battles of the American Revolution and French Indian War. This is from Worthington Games. I don't normally play Worthington Games, but I played this one, and I thought it was not that great. I didn't love it. But I'm not a war gamer necessarily, so maybe other people would enjoy it more. Jumping down here, Dino Race. I feel like I played Dino Race. Nope, I've not. It's just that other games have a very similar cover to them. All right, Munchkin Panic. Hey, I just talked about this one in our last one. Munchkin Panic. No, I did not. This is Castle Panic, re-implemented in a Munchkin. Man, the Munchkin games are very easy to mix up. So Castle Panic, but with a Munchkin theme. Castle Panic is a fun game. I didn't think the Munchkin theme helped it much. I thought it maybe even hurt it a little bit. But if you like Castle Panic and you like Munchkin, this is kind of a surefire thing for you. A nice cooperative game. It's based on a good game. Easter Island. Is this the one from Twilight Creations? This is. I've always wanted to play this game. It's basically an abstract game where these guys are like shooting lasers out, these Easter Island things, and bouncing them around the board. Maybe someday. Probably not. There's a Shadows of Brimstone expansion. There's Crazy Race, Gumshoe, Breakthrough Cambrai. There's a lot of different games here that I haven't played. Oh, here's a couple I have played. A couple sixes. Expo 1906. I like this idea of building these different buildings. It's kind of like a polyomino game, but inventions. There's a lot of good ideas in it. It just misses the mark. This one I wouldn't mind seeing a redone version of. Mount Everest, this is, I believe, is this a sequel to K2? I can't remember if it is or not. It's about climbing Mount Everest. Looks like it. Is this? Yeah, it's from Rebel. This has got to be the sequel to K2. It's okay. The idea of maintaining your air and climbing up the mountain is interesting, but for some reason it didn't hold my attention too long. And let's end with a trio of games here. The very last game here is called Stalingrad Pocket, so we'll look at that. 4 different games. First, we have Architectura. This is from Hobby World. This was about building buildings here in different directions on a grid. There's some neat ideas in this one, and it was fine. Clash of the Gladiators. So Clash of the Gladiators is a game that I think is fine, but I love the theming of this one. This is from Reiner Knizia, and it has these plastic chariots here, and you're moving them around, and you fill them up with different warriors, and you just go around and fight each other. And swordsmen do more damage. Spearmen can hit from a different way away, and shield people are blocking. You have different people. You decide your chariots, and then you go around and fight. If you die, then you control the wild animals that are in there. It's really silly. A 6 is almost too low for this, in a sense. I just think it's an okay game in many ways. but I want to like it more. And then the last game I played here, Escape from the Asylum. I gave this one an 8. It's one of my favorite. Actually, it's really, really good. It's a escape room game. It is very involved. There's a lot. It's expensive. And some people really aren't going to like the theme. The theme is you are trapped in a mental institution. Now, and you take the viewpoint of many different people in this Escape from the Asylum. There's part 1 and part 2. And part 2 continues the stories in part 1. So it's kind of dark. It's not necessarily, like I said, a theme a lot of people like, but I thought it was a really well done, put together game. Last game is Stalingrad Pocket, which I thought would be a small little game. And no, it's about the Stalingrad Pocket, I guess, the war, the battle and war. A big fat war game that ended out. All right, so what's your favorite game in all of these? I'm going back through them and looking. I guess Kamisado Max for me. That's such a great game. But there's some other neat ones in here too. I'd like to give a nod here to Escape from the Asylum. And there was another one here, Filler. Anyhow, tell me your favorites in the comments. I appreciate everybody watching. I hope you check out our other videos here on the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching 6,000 Games Better Than These on the Dice Tower. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.